NewsHour Special Edition.
Well, hi there, warm welcome. You're watching NewsHour at 9 with me, Meghna Deka. Let's tell you how it is going to be a bumper Diwali bonanza for the Yuva at least. Well, the Prime Minister today has launched the Rozgar Mela, or the employment drive for Sarkari Naukris. Now, in the first tranche today, 75,000 out of 10 lakh jobs have been given out and people have been recruited. These new recruits will be placed across 38 central ministries and departments. A target of 1 million public sector jobs has been set by 2023. So with this mega job push, the Prime Minister has brightened up the job landscape, which otherwise has been under the dark shadow of global economic slowdown. Listen in to the strong pitch that the Prime Minister made today.
हमने 8-10 साल पहले की वो स्थितियां भी देखी हैं जब छोटे से सरकारी काम में भी कई महीने लग जाते थे। सरकारी फाइल पर एक टेबल से दूसरे टेबल तक पहुंचते पहुंचते हैं धूल जम जाती थी। लेकिन अब देश में स्थितियां बदल रही हैं, देश की कार्य संस्कृति बदल रही है। साथियों, आज अगर केंद्र सरकार के विभागों में इतनी तत्परता, इतनी एफिशिएंसी आई है, इसके पीछे 7-8 साल की कड़ी मेहनत है। साथियों, आज भारत दुनिया की 5वीं बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था है। 7-8 साल के भीतर हमने 10वें नंबर से 5वें नंबर तक की छलांग लगाई है। ये सही है कि दुनिया के हालात ठीक नहीं है। अनेक बड़ी बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्थाएं संघर्ष कर रही हैं। दुनिया के अनेक देशों में महंगाई हो, बेरोजगारी हो, अनेक समस्याएं अपने चरम पर है। 100 साल में आए सबसे बड़े संकट के साइड इफेक्ट्स 100 दिन में चले जाएंगे, ऐसा न हम सोचते हैं, न हिंदुस्तान सोचता है और न ही दुनिया अनुभव करती है।
Well, quite understandably, the new recruits are elated after the pandemic and lockdown. This has come as a ray of hope for अच्छे दिन।
मैं भी थैंक यू कहना चाहता हूँ हमारे प्रधानमंत्री को कि सबको, सभी युवाओं को एक साथ बुलाए यहाँ पर अपॉइंटमेंट देने के लिए नौकरी का। 75,000 प्लस से भी लोगों कैंडिडेट्स को नौकरी मिला है। ये सभी के लिए अच्छा खुशखबरी है।
ये बहुत ही अच्छा अपॉर्चुनिटी है हमारे युवा के लिए, और मैं यही कहना चाहता हूँ कि जिन जिन लोगों को ये इसमें चांस मिला है उन लोगों को सबको आगे आना चाहिए।
मैं डालोबड़ी बीओ में एबीपीएम पोस्ट में मतलब सिलेक्ट हुआ हूँ। मैं जहाँ तक मतलब आया हूँ, यहाँ पे कोई धांधली का चांसेस भी नहीं हुआ है और मैं देखा भी नहीं कि किसी कोई धांधली से घुसा हुआ हो। सो ऐसा अगर सिस्टम चले तो एकदम ग्राउंड लेवल से जो इंसान लोग होते हैं वो लोग काफी ऊपर पहुंच जाएंगे।
Well, the BJP has meanwhile hailed the Rozgar Mela as a show of intent by the Sarkar towards a sustained economic growth.
So all of these Yuva brothers and sisters getting employed today would serve in the Amrita Kalam in the next 25 years from 2022 to 2047. Where all the 75,226 Yuva Morcha, Yuva guys, brothers and sisters would be serving the next 25 years to help India to become a developed nation.
Problem with Congress is they are trying to act as if they are blind. But the fact is that 75,000 youth has got the job letters in their hand, and another almost more than 9 lakh are in offing. So Modi ji is fulfilling the promise which he has made, and Congress is trying to play politics into this.
Few months ago, the Prime Minister of India had promised the young people of India that 10 lakh job opportunities would be given to them in the coming months in order to serve Ma Bharati. And today, fulfilling that promise, 75,000 job letters are being handed over to young Indians on the auspicious occasion of Dhanteras as a Diwali gift. This shows that the Prime Minister always fulfills every promise he makes to the people of India.
However, the opposition has dismissed this as an event-bazi by the Jumla King. Listen in to their grouses.
70,000 पद भरने का इवेंट बाजी से काम नहीं चलने वाला। इस देश के युवाओं को रोजगार चाहिए, वो रोजगार कब मिलेंगे, इसका जवाब प्रधानमंत्री को देना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो राहुल गांधी 3,570 किलोमीटर चलेंगे और हर रोज मोदी जी से सवाल पूछेंगे।
प्रधानमंत्री ने 2014 में प्रति वर्ष करोड़ों नौजवानों को रोजगार देने की घोषणा की थी, जिस पर अब तक कोई अमल नहीं हो पाया। अगर सरकार गंभीरता के साथ इस पर अमल करती तो आज ऐसी भयानक फौज और बड़ी फौज इन वर्गों की न खड़ी होती। अगर 10,000 बेरोजगारों को रोजगार मिलता है तो मुझे प्रसन्नता है।
Suddenly, how is it that all the due processes in government service, there are procedures which have to be followed? Have they been done, or is it just going to be everything arbitrary, all words and no action? Yet again, this is what people have been seeing since 2014. There's nothing on the ground. Unemployment is at an all-time high. Inflation is at a high, except for event managements, organizing programs, wasting government money on these things. There doesn't seem to be anything which is taking off.
Well, of course, now a lot is being said about whether it is a Jumla or not. Before we go across to our panelists, let's get you some of the statistics. The opposition has dismissed this as an event-bazi Jumla. But let me also tell you what really are the stats on the ground. On your screens, you can see the employment rate in India. As you can see very clearly, the employment rate has been declining from the UPA to the NDA. And towards the end, you can see the pandemic. From 50.8% as it was in 2013, it has now dipped to 43.1% in 2021. Of course, all of this is in the midst of a global recession and a slowdown as well, which is why perhaps it's even more important that the centre does step in and takes these steps. Not just that, is it just jobs or Jumla? Look at some of these stats. The Skill India project, where 1.28 crore youth have been trained, 56% of them have managed to get jobs. In fact, let's also tell you how in the tourism sector, 14.62 million jobs have been created between 2014 and 2018. Not just that, let's tell you how in the MSME sector, MSMEs have managed to create 14.9 million jobs between 2015 and 2019. In fact, in the Mudra Yojana, this as per the Finance Minister, 1.2 crore jobs have been created between 2015 and 2018. These are some of the statistics. Even if we look at the EPFO indications, of course, there are those who say that it perhaps isn't an accurate account, but then look at the EPFO numbers. The numbers speak for itself. About 8,95,000 new subscribers have been added in 2021 alone. So let me go across to our panelists. Joining us today, Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. Tushar Gupta is joining us, a senior editor of the Swaraj magazine. Kamru Choudhury, a leader with the Congress party, is here on the show. Abhishek Jha, a spokesperson with the JDU. Let me first go across to Mr. Choudhury, because the statistics are there on the screens for everyone to see. We all understand that in the midst of a global recession, it's important to make these jobs. It's important to create this job. The centre has done something. Why dismiss it as a Jumla? Karo to problem, na karo to problem.
Okay, good evening, Meghna, and a happy Dhanteras to you and to all your viewers. First and foremost, isn't it the job of the government to provide employment opportunities and job to the youth of the country? That's what the government is there. At least thank Modi ji today. I wish that he continues this political discourse rather than hampering every day on hate politics. Let the debate be on job creation, jobs and other employment opportunities. Now, why we are criticizing this Rozgar Mela as a propaganda Mela? I have got a few statistics for you. Look, today some 75,000 odd applicants have received their appointment letter.
Okay.
When did they clear their exams? It is 6 months already. They have been waiting to get their appointment letter. They got it. Thank you. Congratulations.
So your
Second
problem
point,
is that it's delayed appointment.
42% of the youth between the age of 20 to 24 are are unemployed. 14 crore people lost their job in the last few years. 22 crore people have applied for jobs in the last 8 years when only 7 lakhs got a job. Why the government is silent on the data
that you are quoting at the time when there was a pandemic,
has been recorded.
a lockdown as well as a global recession. Sanju Verma is disagreeing with you. Sanju Verma, the steps that have been taken,
I am speaking
is it adequate or not? We'll just come back to you, Mr. Chaudhary. But let Sanju Verma also counter you on these points. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let me finish.
Let me finish. Meghna, either you moderate the debate or you allow one person to have a monologue. I refuse to speak unless I'm given proper time.
No one's speaking right now. Go ahead.
You can lower the feeder when the...
Sanju Verma, you go ahead, make your point.
Thank you. Okay. Now, without getting into the semantics of, whether the Rozgar Mela will be a success or not, when the appointment letters were issued, there is delayed appointment, blah, blah, blah. I will just give you some statistics which put the entire narrative of employment opportunities being generated under the Modi government in their proper perspective. First and foremost, Meghna, you gave out excellent data at the start, and taking a cue from there, let me add that some of the key highlights with respect to generation of employment in the last 8 years under the Narendra Modi government are: point number one, on the 8th of April 2015, the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana was launched. Today, more than 20 lakh crore worth of loans have been given to almost 35 crore entities. 35 crore loan applications have been processed. It is the single largest self-employment scheme in the world. Then on the 23rd of October 2017, the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Kendras were launched. Today, there are more than 800 Kaushal Vikas Kendras covering more than 500 parliamentary constituencies and covering more than 540 districts. On 13th May 2020, the Prime Minister launched the ECLGS scheme for MSMEs, the Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme, where collateral-free loans were given to India's MSME sector to tide and come out stronger during the COVID crisis. And on the 1st of October 2020, you had the Atmanirbhar Bharat Rozgar Yojana called ABRY that was launched, and you will be surprised to know that only under the ABRY Yojana, you know how many people have been employed till date? More than 60 lakh people. I will end by saying just two more things. On the 14th of June 2022, you had the Agnipath Yojana which was launched. Registrations for Agnipath started on the 24th of June 2022, and within a week of registrations, you had more than 1.75 lakh people who actually applied. And on the 22nd of October, that is today, you had the Rozgar Mela, which will provide 10 lakh people employment, and today 75,000 appointment letters.
10 lakh people to be provided employment and 1 million by 2023. Abhishek Jha, there is a time for elections, there's a time for politics. But many would say, especially those 75,000 people today who have been handed over Sarkari jobs today will say, don't play politics over our future. Why politicize them? Why politicize jobs?
We are happy even if a single person gets employment in his life. That's a very big thing.
But you must be remembering that the BJP-led NDA government came into power in 2014 and earlier. In all his election campaigns, Prime Minister used to say that when we will come into power, we will provide employment to more than 2 crore people in 1 year. Now 8 years have been passed, and more than 16 crore people should get employment like that. But there's a saying in Hindi, "Oot ke muh mein jeera."
Okay.
Crores of people have lost their job. Crores of people are expecting that the promise made by the Prime Minister would be fulfilled someday.
Okay.
Only 75,000 are getting the job opportunities. We are not criticizing the event that even a single person gets employment. It's a big issue. It's a big thing.
It's a family
in his life.
who
We are
is
not
going to be on the
criticizing.
path of betterment with every single job that is created. And which is why, Tushar Gupta, I'll ask you one question. It's undeniable now that jobs were lost during the pandemic. There have been lockdown, there have been several problems. The government has done its bit. Do you think it's adequate?
Okay, Meghna, a lot of points to be made here. Number one, someone from the JDU said that it's the government's duty to ensure employment for everyone in the country. That is not how economics works. That is not how policy works. I'll give you another perspective apart from what Ms. Sanju Verma has already added. There are 40 lakh sanctioned posts within the government, within the center government. Do you know 20% of them are unfulfilled as of today, around 8 to 10 lakhs. Now these 1 million jobs that are going to be given until 2023, the 10 lakh jobs we are talking about, these are important to fill up the state capacity. To give you an example, in railways, for instance, 33% of the sanctioned posts are completely empty. So is the case in the defense ministry. So this is not just about figuring out the unemployment problem also. This is also about sorting the state capacity. But to a certain extent, and this is where mudra loans become important. This is where emergency credit guarantee line becomes important. Meghna, the bottom line is, at the end of the day, what do you want your government to do? They cannot give jobs to 120 crore people, but they can enable an atmosphere where 120 crore people can become wealth creators, can become job creators, and this is what this government has been doing since 2014. Coming to these 1 million jobs, these are important because the state capacity is lacking, the state is suffering, the processes are suffering, from the urban to the rural level, and this is where this job mela becomes very, very important. Not to call it a jumla, to call it not enough, that's very improper, that's very incorrect. Because at the end of the day, you also have to think about state capacity. That is what we were talking about during the Agnipath recruitment scheme also. For everything else, for everything
Very
else, for
relevant point that
employment,
you
for
have made. There is just so much that the government can do, but also when we talk about the governments, what about the responsibility of the state governments? Mr. Choudhury, are you aware that your Congress-run Rajasthan government tops the list of unemployment at 3.8%? Will you take up onus for that?
Meghna, before I reply to you, I need
I request you to reply to this specific point. You can, of course, add points later.
To this propaganda. No, I will not reply to your specific point before you listen to my specific question. Because you have created a perception in your show that the jobs that were given out today, the 75,000 were jobs that were created. Created, I repeat, it is not created. 10 lakh posts of government jobs are vacant, lying central government alone. Around 70 lakh posts are vacant. Posts are lying vacant all over India.
Yes, that
includes
point has already been made.
Also.
Would you
Now
answer my question now? Would you answer my question now?
No, prior to second point that I want to counter, you have repeatedly harped on the question that this is because of the COVID. But prior to the COVID in India, on the 1st of March 2020, government had replied on the floor of the parliament that around 9 lakh government jobs are lying vacant.
Will you now reply to my question, Mr. Choudhury? We don't have all night. I asked you a direct question. Why is Rajasthan faring so badly? Doesn't look. Sanju Verma, quick last word. Sanju Verma, I'm not getting any direct answers from the Congress. Go ahead. Sanju Verma, quick word from you.
The youth of the country are asking.
Let's not speak over each other. There is no point. Again, we are talking about jobs. We are talking about the future of the youth, the Yuva. Don't do them a disservice by trying to end it as a political slugfest. It is not, Mr. Choudhury. Sanju Verma, quick word.
Has not been created.
Sanju Verma, quick word.
I can't speak when he goes on and on and on.
The people.
Mr. Choudhury,
we are going to put your fader down, Mr. Choudhury. I would not want to do that. But if you don't allow others to answer when direct questions are put to you, not answering. You want to continue on a tirade, please have the conviction to listen to the other side. That's all I request. Sanju Verma, quickly make your point.
May I please? Meghna, thank you. I need to make a couple of very important points. First and foremost, you know, the CMIE. I really think the CMIE is a very dodgy institution. It is headed by Mahesh Vyas, who has been a career congressman and an acolyte of P. Chidambaram. But even a career congressman like Mahesh Vyas says that unemployment has hit a new low of 6.3%. Point number two, if you look at the EPFO data, you know, very interesting. There were 17.08 lakh new subscribers who joined in April 2022, 16.82 lakh in May, 18.36 lakh in June, 18.23 lakh in July, 16.94 lakh in August. If you take the 5-month average, it is 17.486 lakh people who have been joining the EPFO every single month. Right. Now, you know, if you extrapolate the EPFO data, Meghna, it means if 17 or 17.5 lakh people are joining the EPFO every month, it is roughly 2.1 crore subscribers every year, which means that in the last 8 years, roughly 16 crore people have entered the formal employment sector, the formal economy under Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And don't forget, today there are over 75,000
more have been added today. Abhishek Jha, quick 30 seconds, your final comments. Have we done enough? Abhishek Jha, quickly.
See, the entire nation wants to know that what is going to happen about the promises made by the Prime Minister. The citizens of India have not received the 15 lakhs which was about to come from the abroad to everyone's account. Prime Minister promised a lot of things.
Can we talk about jobs
has not fulfilled anything. Prime Minister has not fulfilled anything. He has not given employment to 2 crore people per year. So the people of the nation wants to know that when his promise is going to be fulfilled.
So essentially for you too, for the JDU too, it's all a jumla. You do not see the voices that we were just getting for you. Tushar Gupta, final comments.
Meghna, you know, you have to look at the difference in mentality here. When the elections come, Rahul Gandhi says we'll give away 72,000 rupees to the bottom 20% population in the economic pyramid, which is not fiscally sustainable, which is not politically sustainable. While the BJP says we'll fill up the state capacity, we'll empower the state officers while creating an atmosphere where more wealth and jobs can be created. Now the country is always going to go for the latter mentality, not for the former mentality, because people don't want to be given a fish every day. They need to be taught how to catch a fish, and that is what the BJP has done rather successfully. So for the Congress, this all is clearly going to be jumla, because they do not understand policy, they do not understand economics, they do not understand how to create wealth and how to encourage wealth creators. That's the mentality of the Congress.
It's not about giving out jobs, but it's about creating an environment of more job creation. Well, thank you so much, all our panelists. We're completely running out of time. We're going to be slipping into a short break. However, this continues to be our top debate here on Times Now. Stay tuned.